welcome to another The Whensday Warm-Up show. Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. It's a Whensday Warm-Up and I am your host, Lee here, and I am joined by my trusty psychics. Sitting in the psychic panel to my right, we've got Mr. Miller.
Come on, top of the morning. What's happening?
And then we've got Jezza, what's cooking good looking up in here. Hello, guys. What's good?
Hello.
Chop. Our producers was coming through with that air horn.
Listen, it's a beautiful Wednesday, and I must just shout out to our producer in the back. He has like all of these different elements and sounds and everything. So like he's on the ball this morning for us.
He's open,
But I'm excited. Yeah.
And you, Jezzo?
Good morning to all the viewers out there, man. Yes, lock it. So good to be here with you guys here today. And
be like, oh, it's so good for you to see us again.
Thanks.
Because viewers can't say so good to see you. No, we can only see that there's how many people are watching, but we can't say so good to see you. So good for you to see us today. Thank you so much.
So awesome. Top of the morning to everybody joining us this morning. Top of the morning, top of the evening, and top of the afternoon. To whoever you're joining us around the world, man, we know that we have international viewers from all over the place, so we just want to send love and light to wherever you are joining us this morning, and we are so excited for this morning show, and man, I can't wait to get straight into it.
It's an awesome show. So you know what, this morning our guest was like, you guys are so chilled before the show.
That's how we do it, bro.
But you know what, I feel like it's symbolic because he is Mr. Peace.
Oh, wow.
So there's a peace in the room.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
He came with the vibes. So without any further ado, because I want to get him straight into it, man. We came here for him today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The viewers came here for him today. It's the one and only Mr. Reggie Peace. Hey.
What's up, Reggie?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so awesome to have you in studio, man. You are really just like we said in, a positive energy in motion. You've just got the vibes. You just carry the vibe. When I walked in this morning, you and Mr. Miller were talking, and I just felt such a nice presence in the room, man. I feel like it's the vibes, it's the energy. Mr. Reggie, tell us, how was your morning first and foremost?
It's a chilled morning, yeah. I'm moving today, actually, a bit later today.
Oh,
okay.
Awesome.
So just coming out to do the show, super excited.
Lovely.
Man.
You're moving into a new spot?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Can't share much about it yet.
Oh, you don't want people to visit you? Right?
And he's moving during lockdown, guys.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
okay. But that's awesome, man. It's so good to have you here. You are really such an inspiration to so many people. I've been watching your Instagram videos, your lives that you've been doing, just spreading positivity, spreading light. But tell us, who is Reggie Peace, man?
Yeah.
We want to know more about you. What is it that you do? And where do you find your inspiration?
First and foremost, Reggie Peace is a man of faith.
Wow, come on.
And for me, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, actor, and singer, speaker as well. And born and bred in PE, Kaberga. And
Kaberga.
Kaberga.
Can you say that, Jess? Say it.
Repeat.
Kaberga.
Say it, Jess.
Kaberga.
Yo, it was too harsh there on the
So, born and bred in Shorterville, PE. Grew up hard,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a bit about it later. And I got into sports at a young age, and sport. Also writing, but that was more my brother's. It only came a bit later for me.
Okay.
And dancing and acting. But sport was my thing since I was like 7 years old.
Okay.
So I started doing athletics, and
Awesome.
even I'm involved in the sport now. And that's the sport that changed my life, basically. And I moved to moved to Johannesburg in 2012, fast forwarding a bit. And that's where the arts bug basically bird. I mean, UJ is known as this place. I mean, superstars come out of
Come
UJ.
on. Shout out, UJ.
So
Shout out.
true. UJ out here, so true, represent.
Yeah.
And it's been an interestingly tough journey. But as I said, I'm a man of faith. And now that I look back at my life, I can always just see, if it wasn't for that faith, you know. And because of that, now I am where I am, you know.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, definitely. We sense the
peace.
wealth and the wealth of the story that you carry.
Yeah.
And that is what our show is about. We want to spread positivity, and we want to highlight some, people who have been through it, man. And here we are today. Here we are. We're sitting here together. We're here to have a good time, Mr. Peace. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Here to have a good time.
Let's get
So
it.
before we get any further into the story, we're going to go over now to the segment that we like to call Breaking News. Okay, Mr. Miller. What
Awesome.
do you
Thank
have
you
for
so
us
much.
today?
So on this topic,
No, you must be like, we're not doing that. You just introduced me. Yara, Jessica.
We are not doing that.
we are not doing that. No, we must just and take it away.
Be like, so Mr. Miller's going to be doing, we're not doing that. We are not doing
Jessica, we live.
Awesome. We got two topics on the breaking news segment this morning. We have arrest parole, prison food. What will Zuma's incarceration look like? That is a trending topic in South Africa right now, where Jacob Zuma has been sentenced for 15 months in prison for contempt of court. That one is trending in the country, and people are talking about it. I was actually on the phone with a friend of mine yesterday, and he said that when the head goes to prison, the body will follow.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, that's a deep one. But that topic is hot and trending in South Africa. And then also our second topic here on the breaking news segment, England beats Germany as Sterling and Kane sends them to the Euro 2020 last 8. This is something that is happening across the world, and it is trending currently. And I personally think that England is probably the ones to win the Euro 2020s. What do you think, Jess?
I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
So we'll see what happens. The semis are at Wembley and the final. That's what one of our producers in the back here, Jay, is also stating this morning. So who do you think is going to win the Euro 2020s, Leandra?
Well, I was waiting for that because I was about to say that's a little bit sexist that
No,
you
no,
turn
no.
to Jesse and you exclude me from the conversation.
The only reason why I turned to Jesse because he was like on the open side, you know. So
Okay.
I went to him,
Yeah.
and also he's a football fanatic. So
and
I had
also
to go to
the
him
thing
first.
is your back was turned
Towards you,
me,
you know.
so I was
My
like,
apologies.
You know what?
My
you know
apologies.
what?
You know, let me actually just do this real quick. You know, and I think that's how we go do it. Is this good?
So yeah, no, that's good enough. That's
What's
good
up?
enough. How about you turn your back? No, I'm joking. Okay, so I don't know who's gonna win the Euros. I haven't been following, to be honest with you. I
then
just
they say
wanted
you
to be
sexy.
Asperus.
Ghana.
I just wanted to be Asperus. I was thinking it would be South Africa. You know, we've been doing such great things in the world out here.
Let's get it.
Nothing is impossible.
didn't
We've
say
seen that with our country. Just when you think they surprised you, hey, I'm back. I come back. You know, you never know. But with that, the first topic with the presidency, with the ex-presidency, Jacob Zuma,
Yeah.
the question that people are asking is, could Cyril Ramaphosa grant Jacob Zuma the presidential pardon? Because it's a thing. So if an ex-president goes to prison, the current president can pardon him.
I think.
But what do you think is going to happen, knowing their history of not really getting along with each other? Unless that's also just a show. You know, we've got some actors sitting up there in Parliament. They put on such a great show all the time. So it could have just been a show. What do you guys think about that? And also, I say that disclaimer. Please read the disclaimer because I know some people take when we say certain things, but these are our own personal opinions. So I'm just putting it out there that the views expressed in the following program are solely that of the speaker and does not reflect the views of the Inside Show or any other organization affiliated with it. What do you guys say
Thank
about
you
that?
so much, Leandra. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
I genuinely think I don't know. It might be a facade that they never got along.
Yeah.
And I
don't think
there
it
are
will.
few
I don't
things.
think that he will grant him a presidential pardon.
I feel like he's under too much pressure now.
Yeah.
With
No.
everything going on. And with
Yes.
the hashtag Cyril must fall and all that that's going around now.
Yo, we're gonna see
That's
those
very true.
omas now. Cyril must fall. Cyril must fall. Cyril must
And
fall.
basically, my friend told me yesterday, said that if he goes to jail, okay, I think that Jacob Zuma can get the pardon, because if Jacob Zuma goes to jail, that means everyone else that he was involved in will follow suit. So you never know who's I mean, look at everyone that he's been rubbing shoulders with. You never know who might be guilty. So
I think
keep him out of jail. And
I think we have an inkling of who is guilty. Probably most people.
Most.
100%.
It will be weird to find somebody who is not guilty of any crime. But anyway, we're moving over to the real reason why we came here this morning.
Come on.
I came here with
Mr. Peace
fire. I
himself.
came here with fire today. Ek is dik. Ek is dik vir die goeie wat aangaan in ons wêreld en ons land
En
in.
ons land in.
So I came with my red lips today because I am angry.
Hey, come on.
Danger.
Come
I
on
am.
now.
It's
Come
danger
on.
today.
Oh, stop.
But you know what? I feel like God knew why he had to have Mr. Peace here to bring the peace.
Ooh, I see what you
because
did there.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
You see what I did there? And he's wearing the yellow, just to balance things out.
Hey,
Just to bring the light.
yeah.
Just to bring the light. We see it. We see it. We know these things. We are wide awake. We are woke. Our eyes are open. We know these things. But Mr. Reggie in the house. Woo! Where did it start for you, man? You already told us that you had a love for sport. That's where it came from. But how did you get into, like you were saying that the arts bug bit you? Where did this happen? Because you came to Johannesburg. How did that process happen?
It basically started when I was a kid, because my older brother, he's a rapper and a writer.
Okay.
And so he set the bar for us. So when I was a kid, he always used to walk around. They were b-boys, my younger brother and my older
And Mr.
brother.
Miller was also a b-boy.
Yeah.
But my brother always had this small hardcover book with him.
Okay.
And a pen. And I didn't know that was his means of expression.
Yo.
And so it basically started then.
Okay.
I mean, seeing my brothers dance, seeing them out there. I wasn't that good, so I wasn't that good of a dancer.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had to find some other way to shine.
Break
And-
dance.
But you know what? Admittance is the first step to recovery. So I'm glad that you found the truth.
I have
Because a
one
lot of the
question.
times people are like, no, I can do this.
I have one
You know?
question. Were you also those kids that would go put on the movie You Got Served and like try and
Practice,
mimic
eh?
and
I
practice?
was, man. we all of us wanted to be there. So
Pop and lock.
Yeah.
But jy pop and lock jou derms deur mekaar.
Oh, that was
But so
awesome.
basically, that's where it started, and I think my path, athletics, was meant for me at that time,
Okay.
because what athletics did was, I grew up very poor. Like I grew up in a shack smaller than the studio, with both of my parents and my two brothers, and I mean we lived in Shorterville, the poor community, but we had to go ask food by the poor people.
Sure.
So it was so intense. I remember the grant money was the only money that came in, which was the 800 bucks of my father at the time. And unfortunately, my parents were basically abusing drugs, alcohol, drinking and smoking their pain away. And I never knew it at that time. But our escape at that time, athletics became my escape.
Sure.
Dancing became an escape for my brothers. And so what it did was it took me out of the house. So every time I could go train.
Yes.
I could go to different suburbs. I could go to, Summerstrand or run in all over PE.
Wow.
I wasn't the best either, but I was out there, not caught up in the circumstances at home. So that is basically where the bug bit,
That's awesome. So that is such an inspirational story, and that's the reason why I say that you come, you know what, if for me it's like the most beautiful souls are those who have experienced pain, because they know how to empathize with other people. And in your expression of art, that's what you do. You allow empathy to exude from you in order for you to touch other people's lives and to understand circumstances. But how do you change your mind from that? Because you can stay in that, you can move out of the place, but your mind can still be in there.
Yeah.
How did you have to change your mind? I'm sure that it was no easy task for you to change your mind. But what did you do? Because there's someone out there that I don't know where they can find this video from, but who has a similar story to yours.
Yeah.
And they feel like they stuck. This is it. This is the end. But how can they change their minds? Because I feel like that's the most important thing. You can move out of a place, but what does your mind move out from there?
That's definitely the most important, is the renewing of your mindset. For me, I was surrounded by different people. So I was surrounded by sports people at the end of the day. And those people were people at home. I heard, you can't do it. You'll never make it. You know, the abuse that you get that I got at home was, you'll never make it. You'll end up like your father. You'll end up like your mother. But the people that I surrounded myself with, which was the athletes, the older people, I always surrounded myself with older people.
Okay.
And for me to see them, like Uncle Godfrey Goliath, one of the guys in the community, he was the guy who took us out, basically. And I was constantly surrounded by people who's better than myself.
Yeah.
Or I tried.
Yes.
Or people who already had a different mindset. Because then I can see, oh, this is how he does it. Or, oh, this is how she does it.
Yes.
Oh, this is, I grew up in a not so good family. Then I could go visit maybe a coach and I can see, oh, this is how you do family, you know. So, but the renewing of the mindset, even now, I mean, for me personally, I'm even pushing for that now.
Yes.
Because I believe I heard a sermon by Louis Giglio a few weeks ago, and he was touching on the devil has a seat at your table, and the devil has a seat at all people's tables, you know. And for me, I feel like sometimes the voices still pop up. You're not good enough. You know, sometimes all of that. But what worked for me as of late, like 2-3 years ago, was meditation.
Okay.
The word says, be still and know that I'm God.
Come on.
And it's there where the answers are. I feel like we pray and we pray. We just go, you know, 10-minute prayers and going. But we don't allow God to speak to us.
Yes.
So
That's good.
that is how the process started. And I mean, that's like a few years ago. So I've been out of that community for like 15 years.
Wow.
So people must know it takes time to renew the mindset. So if all of these years you've been told that, are you ugly? Or, you know, you started believing it, or all of these negative stuff, you now have to fill it with new stuff.
Yes.
So that is how I approach it now. And the more we fight, we want to listen to sermons and we want to listen to people and all of this advice, but there's only one truth, and that the real truth is the Bible.
Yes.
You know, so
That's so beautiful. That's beautiful. Actually, I wanted to come in there because like you just dropping bars and you're just going in with revelation right here. And I think for me, and I can attest to this because I also had this background, you know, ultimately wanting to get out of, I have similarities to the hardship that you found yourself in. And I think for me, the thing is, and the thing that I always advocate for is exposure. And you only get exposure when you change your environment. Like you changed your environment by getting involved, you know, in athletics and all of these other things that took you away from your home. And it gave you exposure to different backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds, different people that you came into contact with. And ultimately, this then allowed you to even dream bigger dreams, right? And I mean, now look at you 15 years later. So would you say that the exposure that you got ultimately, and also changing that environment allowed you to get to where you are currently?
Definitely. For me, that's why even now, today, I'm a firm believer in the people that you surround yourself with. Because that's the only way you improve. That's the only way. I gave my mentor a note the other day, and I'm like, thank you so much for the example that you are. And I now want to make better choices because I can see you, how you make the choices. So yeah, some people might not have the chance to be educated or the money, but we can learn with our eyes. We can steal with our eyes. We can, and that's how I learned.
Yes.
I mean, and I mean, even now,
Yes.
I'm not a qualified actor or qualified muso, but I'm stealing with my eyes, and then I'll go and learn more.
To practice at home, just
Yes, yes.
So that is it. Like the change of environment, the people that you surround yourself with, and silence. For me, the peace came about. Reggie Peace, my real name is Reginald Hafke. But I felt like I've never had peace in my life.
Sure.
So this obsession with peace, I don't know, I mean, it has somewhere in Matthew, all the peacemakers shall be blessed. This was way back when I was in a children's home, when I stayed in a children's home.
Wow.
That peace, this obsession with peace has always been in my life, and I never questioned like why. But now that I can see, hey, Reggie Peace.
Can you make me so emotional? Yesterday, your
Bro.
story is so inspirational. Honestly, you guys will continue.
I just want to ask you, Reggie. When you started the interview, you said you were a man of faith, now, and as you speak, you can hear that coming out from you.
Yeah.
I want to know, where did it basically start, your journey with Christ, basically, if you can go into that? Because a lot of times people that's in the same situation that you in, they tend to question God a lot and say, but why are you doing this? And then they rebel against God. But from your story, it sounds like, I don't know if you did rebel or what, but obviously you're at a point now where you basically came back and you started pushing again, and you're showing that you are a man of faith. How did that change take place for you? Because when I look at a lot of kids today, it's quick to blame others.
Yeah.
And that's what we do with Christ. We tend to blame Christ a lot, to say, but why are you putting me through this? I'm struggling. You said you're my father. You're supposed to love me. And yet I'm going through this. How did that change take place for you?
I was 12 years old when I gave my life to God. And I mean, my family wasn't like a church family. They were caught up in the world and the darkness of the world. But once I went to church by myself, and I mean, in PE, and just seeing, hey, these people jumping up and down, praising worship.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just like, is this how you praise God? And I gave my life to God unknowing. I mean, you're 12 years old. Your parents never really taught you about God. Only at school, you pray, sometimes at assembly. And But
Our Father.
that is how, I think it was that when I was 12 years old, when my life basically started changing. And that was the time when basically my mother passed away in 2004, and then my father also passed away the next year.
Sure.
But in that time, I also gave my life to God, and that was basically the change from Shorterville community in the northern areas of PE into the children's home.
Okay.
The children's home wasn't that easy. I mean, I'm writing now about it, and I can see now, hey, all of these kids with all the trauma put in one place, basically set up there. How do you deal with that if you're not properly guided? But for me, I've always felt like I've had this on and off relationship with writing.
Okay.
Just like writing, and like a few years ago, I just realized, what if that was your way of communicating with God? Because I'm not a speaker.
Yes.
I'm a quiet person.
Yes, yes.
But on paper, that is when I go.
Yeah.
And I understand what you say. I mean, for me, I always ask the question how, and Ivor Swartz in his book poses the question, how can you refer to God, the Father, when most of our kids grew up fatherless, or most of our kids, grew up with abusive fathers. The image that they have of a father is so skewed, is so messed up, and for me, I also struggled with that. that communication with God. But it was here on the paper where I could felt like, I mean, I look back and now at some of my journals that I wrote, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want to disappoint you.
Sure.
Lord, man, why am I not the person? You know, so it's that constant, because as I said, I'm not the biggest speaker. Like, if you know me, you'll know I'm like the quiet guy in the bunch. But when I write, that is when I come alive. That is when I communicate. And I felt like that was my way of communication. But it was that battle.
Yeah.
Like a father figure with a child. And because I always had this view of my father, because my father never hit me, but he was verbally abusive.
Yes.
And, you know, so I always had that thing with God. Until like a few years ago. Once again, it comes down to the renewing of your mind. And now the image that I have of God, the Father, that I can see. And last year I was at a conference in PE, and the host held his child in his hand, a newborn child. And then the image that I got was like, that is how God actually operates.
Yeah.
Is gentle, with care. Sometimes the kid will fall, and the kid will want to do his or her own thing. But the father is still there, but the father still allows the kid to move around or to crawl around. But if they see there's danger coming, then the father will come, hey, my child.
Yeah.
It's the same. So that's the image that I have now of God, is a gentle father, you know. Yeah.
You're preaching, bro.
So I want to go over now to we are hanging on every word
Like,
that
we're
you
like,
are
just
saying.
give
You
more,
we are literally hanging on every word that you're saying. But we want to now move over to the career aspect of things. You spoke about your writing, and you felt like that you've always had a relationship with writing. And in retrospect, you realize that was your means of expression, even to God, which is such an awesome thing for me to, and for people out there who struggle to speak to God. Like what Reggie is saying now, he spoke to God, and he realizes that in retrospect, that speaking to God, he spoke to God while writing, you know. And I feel like God, even like he hears the faintest cry, and he sees all things. Don't limit him to, you must only open your mouth and say something now, because sometimes the words don't come out of your mouth audibly. Sometimes the words come out of your mouth. Some people dance. I know that there's people who express themselves in dance. There's some people who express themselves in, different means. But coming over, finding yourself now in this space, because you have quite a list of accolades to your name. I know that you appeared in a Silver Screen Award-winning short film Cowboy Dan in 2018. You were in Generations The Legacy as Luke Dispruce, which was very exciting for me. And also Hayes Lelyveld. So tell us a little bit more about that, man. How did it happen?
I started acting in school, but athletics. Look, I became like a provincial athlete at the end of the day.
Sure.
So for me, anything I don't know.
What was your thing? Like 100 meters?
No, long distance.
Sure.
So, but for me, I
endurance,
don't know.
endurance, all about endurance.
But for me, everything that I just set my mind to, I'm just like, hey, if I can't be the best, then why am I doing it? You know, so that is my mindset that I have. And it's the same with when I came to UJ. I got a sports bursary at UJ, and that is basically how it started. I acted in PE, but more theater, because there's not much happening there. So when I came to UJ, the first thing I did was I went to introduce myself at the art center the first day.
Sure.
When I entered there, and I remember meeting Precious Maputle, and that is how it basically started. And that year, I auditioned, and we went to the National Arts Festival with the UJ play. And since then, I just saw, some people I'm walking around with on campus are on TV, and I'm like, maybe I should also, you know. So for me, my mind is always like that. Like, so
stealing with your eyes.
I was always striving, you know. I was always striving. I was grateful, but never satisfied. Even today, I'm grateful, but I'm not satisfied
So good.
because I know, hey, there's still a lot more to do.
And
And
accomplish.
so
Yeah.
what happened, I started, the messages that I basically got was try and get an agent. And I started knocking on doors, getting rejected for 2012, 2013,
Sure.
2014. But I just went on, looking back at my emails now, and I'm like, yo, it's been a lot of rejections.
Yeah.
So people must also know that in our industry, you get a lot of rejections.
More rejection than acceptance.
Yes. So until I got introduced to our agent, or I knocked on his door, Janice
Yes.
Williamson, and
Shout out,
Yeah,
Jen. We see you. We
Janice.
love you.
and basically in 2014, I auditioned for him without any training. I mean, okay, my training that I got was
School.
school and the
Yes.
theater stuff at UJ, but not like a degree.
Yeah.
But so he accepted me. I mean, he took a chance on me, and I've been with Janice ever since. And the gigs just started coming in since then, and audition after audition, rejection after rejection. But I just went on. I think athletics taught me a lot about perseverance. And I remember my first gig was in 2014. A short film, Kyknet short film called Delilah. And that led to Magic Moves. That is when I got introduced to guys like Donovan Peterson, Denver Vragom.
Okay.
And just getting all of this validation. So like Denver Vragom was like, hey man, my wife really loves your work. And Ingrid Paulsen, who played in Seven de Laan,
Wow.
so for me to get that kind of validation,
Yo, that's amazing.
like that was like, yo, I wanna just go, man. Anything is possible.
Yes, yes.
And I also remember with Generations, Generations coming to UJ at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, looking for artists, and it was myself, Zamgita Nyoka, Ebenezer Dibakwane, who's a stand-up comedian at the moment. I didn't get the audition at the time, so for me it was like that was a bummer. Only to know that a few years later, 4 years later, my time would come on Generations.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's ever since what happened then, I finished, I got my diploma at UJ. Then I left for Stellenbosch, did a bit of emceeing, did a bit of commentating sports, because I'm still involved in the sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I do commentating there, writing as well, and yeah, but that move down there, I think, I don't want to say it's the wrong move. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
But that year, those 2 years, I ended up depressed and down and out. It's away from Stellenbosch is a whole different vibe compared to
completely. Yeah.
compared to Gauteng. And I just all my peers, I just like, it's depression is this dark world that you're climbing into where doubt and fear rules. And it was in that time, I worked, but didn't work at that company for long. Then I started freelancing in the freelance. It was tough in Stellenbosch as a freelancer, and tried getting into the Cape Town scene acting wise, but just didn't work out for me. But during that depressing time, that's 2016, 2018, then it came to Cowboy Dan, the opportunity. But also during that time, I was now on this side of the world, in the Western Cape, so
Yeah.
Janice and them couldn't get me that much work. And then I met Brandon Daniels on the set of Cowboy Dan.
Okay.
He was the lead guy there, and he just encouraged me.
Sure.
I mean, even until today, we talk. We had a shoot the other time, a few months ago, together again, and Brandon hugged me and he was like, hey man, I see you. So for me, it's validation like that for me, because sometimes I feel like I'm an outsider, which is fair, because I don't have the qualification, I don't have all of that, but I mean, I'm still pushing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so that validation that came from him just pushed me more. And I remember just fighting with God. Hey, do I move back to Joburg or do I stay on that side of the world? And broke down and out. I moved back to Johannesburg into beginning of 2019. Got the chance to stay at the Echo Community House in Melville. The Echo houses helps people maybe who come out straight out of school or people still struggling to get back onto their feet. And
Wow.
I was one of those guys who at the Echo Community helped. And you know, rent is a bit cheaper, and
Yeah.
if you don't have food, they'll help you with food. So for me, but then I came back and I was like, yo, man, it's either you take your life seriously now or never. And that's when I just started digging more into God. That's when I don't think I've ever spent that much quiet time. People would always see me 5 a.m, being out there on my own, meditating, praying, reading. And for me, I just think is that seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness,
Yes.
and all these things will be added unto you. But you must also know where you want to go.
Yes.
You must also know the vision, because it is planted in you, you know. So for me, I've wrote down my goals. I mean, I look at my dreams almost every day, even now. And I'm just like, I am one of the most influential actors in South Africa.
Yeah.
That's good.
Started speaking that I am one of the most
Prophesying.
influential
Yeah.
singers, songwriters in South Africa. And yeah, since then, 2 months later, since the move, got the audition for Disprios and Generations. I actually, while we were shooting Disprios in
Cape Town.
Cape Town, got the audition for Generations, so we had to move quickly.
Yeah.
And the agent was just like, hey man, it's just a small role, you know, so but give your best.
Yeah.
And I gave my best. I mean, I was only supposed to be there for 3 days, and now it's almost going for 2-3 years.
Wow.
So, you know, but I think for me, the most important thing is pitching up,
Yes.
delivering excellence.
Yes.
You must be prepared.
You must act as if you were lead.
Yes.
That should be your etiquette.
So for
Even if
me,
it's just like a little role, it's you the lead in that character. You are the lead.
So for me, that was like the, you know, like the Chelsea call-up maybe. You know, in soccer.
Yes, yes.
Or it's like, you know, what do you do when you get that chance?
Yes.
When you get to play on the
At that
biggest
level.
stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and since then, Ace Lelyveld also came. I remember auditioning for Vali Esterhuizen. I walked into the audition room.
Hey.
And when I saw it's like Vali, I'm like, yo, this is
You
big.
get intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is big, man. I mean, Vali Esterhuizen is huge.
Yes.
The creators of Vetkoek Paleis, and here I am, a boy who comes out of a shack, a boy who comes, you know, from a children's home, and I have the opportunity to stand in front of these giants, and
Wow.
I delivered my audition, and they loved the audition, and I mean, that was the start of the relationship with Vali Esterhuizen, and you know, and I mean, I've just been loyal to those people. I think that's so important.
So I just want to ask you this question before we continue, because I do want you to. Reggie is in the house. Reggie Peace is in the house, and the Whensday Warm-Up here. Just to let you guys know, for those of you who just joined, he will also be performing from one of his singles, which is so exciting. But I want to know from you, because you speak about, you mentioned something so significant. I mean, you auditioning in front of Vali Esterhuizen and all these big name players. You know what I'm saying? And you said that I'm just a small town boy coming from a shack. I've been in a children's home. This is how important is authenticity, especially in your career in this industry? Because I feel like this is in my personal experience that the directors, the casting directors, the directors channel, I feel like they can sense fakeness. So the importance of authenticity is so vital. But I feel like society has lost the meaning of authenticity because alles is now authentic. Maar what is authenticity in actual fact? So firstly, what is authenticity to you, and what is the importance of remaining authentic to you, to your past experiences, to your present woes, to your future self? What is authenticity to you, and what does that, and how do you stay authentic?
There's only one you, eh?
Yeah.
There's only one Leandra.
Yes.
There's only one Reggie. And no one can tell my story like myself. Someone else can try and tell it. Even my brothers can try and tell it. Or I can try and tell my brothers' stories. But there's only one me. And I'm so grateful for like the people that I've worked with, because now that you're asking that question, is that they always tell me, Reggie, we want you to be
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Even on Generations.
Yeah.
When I become maybe too English, they'll tell me, hey man, where's your vernac?
Yes.
And that for me, it's like, yo, I have a responsibility towards my culture. I have a responsibility towards my people. I had a chat with, what's the guy's name? Who plays Gaddafi on Generations.
Okay.
And he
yes.
was like, man, your ancestors this is your ancestors at work here. You're representing them. So
Yep.
I also think that's so important.
Yes.
Is the fact that we're representing not just ourselves, we're also representing our people.
Yes.
So now we come there and we just want to be, even my mentor, Udo Karelse, I remember once trying to do a demo with him. And then he was like, hey man, do you want to try and sound like a white person? Or
Yeah.
do you want to just stick to the presenting elements while using your accent, while speaking the way you speak? So for me, authenticity is what opened the doors, and I really think it's important,
Yes.
That's good. Oh,
And how do people find that authenticity? Because it's easy to say be yourself, but many people don't even know who they are. Do you think you must go back in time, appreciate your history, appreciate where you come from? Is that what you need to do? What's the process like?
Yeah, for me, even now, I mean, with that, because I see you look mostly at Cape Town, and, that is known as, most of the colored people come from there.
Yes.
But also colored people come from PE,
PE.
and Joburg
Yes.
and Durban as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I have to constantly remind myself that, bro, your story is not like the Cape Townian story.
Yes.
Or yours, because I think that's the misperception that people have of colored people. It's
100%.
always,
Yeah.
where massacred,
Oh,
So for me, it's like I constantly have to remind myself, even now, is that, man, I've had a different journey.
Yes.
Every one of us had different journeys. I grew up different. So for me, I have to stick to what's my truth.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I should forget my culture as a whole, but that is what makes the culture
So rich.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
is the fact that we come from different backgrounds, and we
Yes.
come from, the different races or whatever. But I feel like that is what makes us so unique.
Wow.
So
Definitely
beautiful, so awesome.
motivational speaker of note.
Yeah.
Guys, for those people who are watching, if you need a motivational speaker, please give Reggie a call. We're
And
going to get
you know
your
what?
details as well, Reggie.
Can I just say this before you go, Leandra? I know Reggie, right? Like I mentioned previously, I met Reggie on the UJ campus, and I would never have thought that this guy has so much wealth in him, so much wisdom in him, because you'd always see Reggie walking around the campus. And because it was the three of us, we had big hair. You see Reggie has big hair. So it was myself, Reggie, and there was another guy, Tepo, who was also a model and whatever. And, I identified with these guys. And Reggie was just this quiet guy on campus all the time. And, man, I'm flabbergasted. Like, I'm mind blown right now.
Yeah.
No, man.
Tell us about your music. We want to know about the music. You, in all your songs, I've listened to a number of them. One of my favorite is Ekan Yekan.
Yeah.
So in all of your music, there is always a message of positivity. It's a message of you can do it. It's a message of don't give up. It's a message of keep a positive mindset, keep moving, go forward, don't go backwards. Would you say that's your niche? That's your thing? And how did the music come about before? Because we're going to get Reggie to perform for us one of his songs.
Let's get it.
So how did that come about?
Yeah, it's also with the writing. I mean, writing forms a part of everything.
Yes.
Writing forms a part of music, it forms a part of the acting. So my first track was actually like a diss track,
Yo,
while I was in the children's home.
Yo, Reggie, now you see what you're doing now. I am boosting you here,
But the
Mr.
thing is,
Positive.
but the thing is, it's a form of expressing
Yes,
yourself,
yes.
you know. And I mean, the aunt or the house mother at the time made me upset, you know. That was when you just start experimenting. So it was just as long as it came out. And also for rappers, that's why I feel like most rappers are misunderstood because it comes through so hard and, but it's a form of expressing themselves at that time.
Yes.
So I started writing when I was 14,
Okay.
music, and I mean, that's when I started in the children's home and in the room there. My roommate says, with this broken computer, then I would be there at night and, just writing, going on. But I was just looking for more opportunities to perform. Even at school, I was one of the busiest guys at school, And I
Okay.
wanted to do acting, and I wanted to be in music.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I just,
All over the show.
So,
Yeah. Triple threat for what? When I can do all things. Huh?
Come on.
So I mean, one of my big songs that I wrote, I think it was like 16, 17, was I'm Free.
Okay.
And it's basically just all of the music that I'm writing comes from the fact that I've always been told that, man, you won't make it.
Yes.
Man, you'll end up dead like your father or your mother or, so I have a big heart for people who's just pushed aside or who's
The
not
underdogs.
heard or seen
Yes.
by the communities or wherever.
Yes.
So for me, that's my music. I feel like sometimes I question, I mean, Arendsvlei asked me to write a song for them, and it's a hardcore track.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the words, you'll be like, yo, it's about this girl who's going through all of this at home, but at school she's the smart person. It's always about the underdog.
Yes.
I was an underdog. I still feel like I'm an underdog.
Yeah.
But so that is basically my music. It is to uplift and to inspire, and because I feel like we need that.
Definitely. So the song that you're going to be performing for us today, tell us about it. Let us know. We've only got 10 minutes left. We see you, Mr. Producer. Okay. But tell us about the song that you're going to be performing for us today. How did the inspiration come about, and what is the song about, basically? What do you want to achieve with the message of the song?
It's a song called All That Matters, and what I basically say is, yesterday is yesterday, the future is a mystery, now is all that matters. We can't change the past. You can't do much about the future besides working on the future by doing and being your best today.
Amazing.
That's good. Yeesh.
Yo, okay. Jess, do you want to
Gold,
say anything?
pure gold.
No, I'm all good.
Pure
I'm-
gold.
You're taking it all
Yeah.
in. You're taking it all in. So we're going to cue the track. Reggie, are you ready?
Nerves always get to you.
Nervous,
before
definitely.
the time.
It's like you can do this a million times and you will still be nervous, which is a good thing. That adrenaline is important. Okay, so Mr. Producer, are you ready for us? We're going to cue the track. We're going to have Reggie give us a bit of that song, All That Matters. You've got Reggie Peace here in studio with us on the Whensday Warm-Up, and he will now be performing at one of his own tracks, an original called All That Matters. Reggie, over to you.
Yeah, as I said, you can't go back and change anything, but you can look ahead and work on today. Give your best today. Yesterday is yesterday, the future is a mystery. So now is all that matters. All that matters. Yesterday is yesterday, the future is a mystery. Yeah, is all that matters. You were made to fly. You're meant to play among the stars. It's all up in your mind. What you think can be yours. Just let go of the past. Yesterday is yesterday. The future is a mystery. So now is all that matters. All that matters. Yesterday is yesterday. The future is a mystery. Yeah, is all that matters. Set me free from my past. Fly away with me. Let's reach for the stars. Make now all there is. The future is now. Yesterday is yesterday. The future is a mystery. So now is all that matters. It's all that matters. Yesterday is yesterday. The future is a mystery. Yeah, is all that matters. Yeah. Thank you, Lord, for peace and love. It's raining blessings. Make me understand why I'm so demanding. Make me understand what's my life plan. Sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like I'm not in the zone. Sometimes I know that I didn't own it. That's in the past. Focus, zoning on it. Yesterday is yesterday. The future is a mystery. So now is all that matters. All that matters. Yesterday is yesterday. The future is a mystery. Now is all that matters. All that matters is now. All that matters. All that matters is now.
Come on. That was your boy, Reggie Peace. All that matters. Such an awesome song, man. Wow.
Honestly, Reggie, yo, I don't know, guys, yo. Do you have any words? Because I'm at a loss for words at the moment.
I love the song. I just love the song.
It's got that lounge vibes. Man. You know, like you can just be chilling. It's a lounge vibe.
I need to
chilling with your
download the
friends.
song, actually.
Yesterday's. Where can we download it?
Can we download it?
Yeah. Well, it's on. I'm not. If I'm not mistaken, that one is not on
I see
all
that
the
it's on
platforms, but it's on
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
It's on SoundCloud.
So it's on SoundCloud. And then you can follow Reggie. You do have a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
so it's also Reggie Peace.
Yeah.
So follow Reggie on YouTube. Support local, folks. Support local. He's got such an amazing story. You heard it here first. And before we go, we're going to be signing out. Before we go, I see that you're also doing these comedy skits, some comedy relief. Tell us about that. It's very important, especially during these times of complete depression and darkness. Tell us about your comedy skits, man.
Yeah, so I go by the name of Reggie Walker. That's the name of my character that I've created.
Okay,
yeah.
Reggie Walker, and I see that it's got a thing to do with sports as well.
Yeah, with sport, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my reality,
Yes.
where I come from, and so I basically just created this character to keep the creative juices flowing.
Yes.
Plus also to create content.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's important for people or artists, young and upcoming artists, to know that people are watching.
Yep.
the producers, the whoever people are watching.
Die hulle die Netflix die channel
You
hulle
know,
watch
so
jou.
but besides that, for me, it's just like, how can I set myself apart? You know,
Yes.
and so for me, that is one of the reasons why I created the character
Okay.
called Reggie Walker. Plus, also, I'm learning. You learn to edit. You learn to tell stories in a different way. You learn comedy. Comedy is very close to the truth.
Yes.
You know,
And
so
comedy draws a lot from tragedy.
Yes.
So
I mean, for me, that is the line. Even on Generations, people say when they look at the character, they
Yeah.
just want to laugh.
yeah.
You know, so for me, I feel like perhaps my gift is comedy. So, yeah, that is.
It's a dry humor, I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
it now. It's like
baie
Savannah.
droog, hè.
It's like Savannah, but it's I was telling Jess, because I was like, you must, because when I was explaining, I was saying, look, we've got this guest on, his name is Reggie Peace and whatever, and I was like, okay, cool, and I was telling him about you, and I was like, he's got like this dry humor, but it's funny, and Jess was like, oh, he's one of those guys. So yeah, no, definitely that could be your line of work, man. But closing remarks, we're gonna give over to Reggie first and foremost. Any closing remarks? I want you to speak into that camera over there for me. A young boy, young girl watching this, what is your motivation for them?
Surround yourself with people who's better than you. Even if you have to hang out with the older guys who's on the right track, chill with them and make time to be quiet. That's the most important advice that I can give you, because there's so many voices, external voices. But if you get quiet, your voice or God's voice is gonna God is gonna reveal Himself to you.
We love it. We love it.
So beautiful.
Jezo?
Now, I just want to say thank you for coming on today's show. I think we learned a lot from you today, and Leandra and the guys know that I like music with stories in it. That's why
Yeah.
I'm a big J. Cole fan,
Yeah.
because there's meaning in his music and you actually get something out of it. So I just want to say thank you, because the song that you wrote, you can get something out of it and you can learn something from that song. So continue being you and continue pushing, continue doing your best, because there is people that's watching you. You might not know it, but someone is watching you and they're learning from you. So continue doing your best and continue doing you. That's the most important. And moving forward, I pray God's blessings upon you, and that
Come on.
greater things shall come your way.
Yeah.
Amen.
And that you shall just keep on growing
Come on.
until we are
brother.
seeing you on the Netflix films
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the Universals and all that.
Come on now,
So
come on.
awesome. Oh, not only do you get a well wish for your future, but you get God's blessing from the Inside Show. Man, Reggie, I just want to say thank you to you, bro, for coming through and being a part of what we're doing here. Like Jesse said, we wish nothing but the best, God's best for your life. Continue changing lives, continue to inspire through your story, because there's someone behind that camera that is resonating with you, and that's drawing from your experience and what you're going through. So keep on going, keep on pushing. And to everyone joining us behind the camera, we love you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of the Whensday Warm-Up this morning. And man, like I said, or what I believe in is Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added unto you. Change your environment, seek the wisdom of God, and watch how your life will change forever. Like my man Reggie Peace said, yesterday is yesterday.
Come on
Now is all that matters. I love that.
Yay. Yo, we see the songs already. But it's
It
like
stays
that.
in
The
your
song
head.
stays in your head. It's one of those, man. Reggie, we wish you nothing but the best, brother. From the Inside Show, we support you 100%. And we don't just say that, we really do. We will be following your journey. We will be rooting for you, because you've got such a pure spirit, man, such a clean heart. And those are the ones that God blesses. Those are the Beatitudes. You read the Beatitudes, you spoke about it. You says that blessed are the peacemakers. And so consider yourself blessed. I believe that when you profess something, you need to walk in it as well. So walk in that. Walk in the profession of your faith. Walk in the profession that you are blessed, and that anything is possible for you. You've already got the right mindset. You've been through it. I believe that it's greater from here. The latter
Yes.
will be greater than the former. So we just
So
keep
good.
speaking blessings upon you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for being such an amazing, awesome guest, for inspiring our viewers out there, reaching people with your message and with your story. To everybody who is watching, thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday morning. We love you guys so very, very much. Yes, so very, very much. We just want to say thank you for watching us. Thank you so much for all the support. Please do go and follow Reggie. He does have a YouTube page, like I said to you. It's Reggie Please. Reggie Please. No, it's Reggie Peace. Please subscribe to his channel. Show some love. Like, share his content. And on your social media platforms? What's
same,
your
Reggie
same?
Peace, yeah.
Reggie Peace on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as well. No Twitter. You like me. That's toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic
Yeah.
Twitter. Okay.
Twitter.
But anyway, thank you so much, everybody. We love you from the Whensday Warm-Up squad. It's Mr. Miller, Jezzo, myself, Lee, and our amazing guest, Reggie. We wish you a wonderful week ahead and many blessings. It's the last of June, yo, guys.
Yeah.
Get it.
Just to say, it's the last of
Yeah.
June. Can you believe it? 5
Wow.
months left of the year. Make the most of it. We love you. Bye.
Deuces.